Jinnah's 14 points. Guys, today we are going to discuss Jinnah's 14 points. It will be better to say that we are going to discuss how to remember Jinnah's 14 points. You have come to these Jinnah's 14 points in various books, but the major difficulty while studying Jinnah's 14 points is how to remember those 14 points. Uh, so today we are going to learn some tips how to remember those 14 points. As you know, before Jinnah had presented his famous 14 points, Nehru had presented a report which was highly criticized by various leaders of Muslim League. And when the Nehru report was rejected because of reservations from Muslim League, Jinnah had visited London, and after coming back from London in March 1929, he had presented his 14 points as a consolidated document of Muslim demands. To remember Jinnah's 14 points, it's better to divide those points under different headings. If we would divide Jinnah's 14 points, that comes under four major headings. Basically, all those points were related to the rights of minorities, but if you will categorize them in order to remember, they came under four main headings. First one, the form of government. There was one point that was related to the form of government. He had said that the form of the future constitution should be federal, with residuary powers vested in the provinces. That is, he was demanding a federal system with a weak center and powerful provinces. Next is he had demanded for provincial autonomy. For provincial autonomy, he had demanded that uniform measure of autonomy shall be granted to all provinces. That is, either provinces are small or large, the level of autonomy should be equal to all provinces. And he had demanded that no change shall be made in the constitution without the consent of provinces. That is, center should not be allowed to make amendments by their own. If they are going to make some amendments in the constitution, they need superior recommendations from the provinces first. So these 2 points were related to the provincial autonomy, and then he had presented 5 points that were related to the rights of minorities. Now count these points as well, guys. First, 1 point was about the form of government, and then 2 points that were related to the provincial autonomy. The total became 1 plus 2 is equal to 3 points. And regarding rights of minorities, he had presented 5 points. So in this way, 3 plus 5, total 8 points became. Regarding rights of minorities, he had said that all legislatures in the country and other elected bodies shall be constituted on the definite principles of adequate and effective representation of minorities in every province without reducing the majority in any province to a minority or even equality. And he had demanded that in central legislature, Muslim representation shall not be less than one third, and he had demanded that the representation of communal groups shall continue to be by separate electorate, provided that if it shall be open to any community at any time to abandon its separate electorate in favor of joint electorate. That he had demanded that in central legislature, Muslim representation should not be less than one third, and the communal separate electorate should continue. Uh, and if any minority want to abandon that separate electorate in favor of joint electorate, they should be free to that minority, and this should be decided by the minority itself, rather somebody outside from the minority who could decide about their uh, right. Either they will be elected through joint electorate or separate electorate. And he demanded full religious liberty to all communities, and he had also demanded that no bill or resolution shall be passed in any legislature if three-fourths of the members of any community in that body oppose the bill. And About Muslim representation, there were 4 points. Uh, First one, he was saying that the Muslims should be given an adequate share in all services, having due regard to the requirement of efficiency. And then he had demanded that the constitution should embody adequate safeguards for the protection of Muslim culture, education, language, religion, and personal law, as well as for Muslim charitable institutions. And he had demanded that one-third representation shall be given to Muslims in both central and provincial cabinets. And another demand which was related to territorial adjustment, however, it was there to protect Muslim rights because he had demanded that territorial redistribution that might at any time be necessary shall not be in a way that affect Muslim majority in Punjab, Bengal, and NWFP provinces. These three provinces, Punjab, Bengal, and NWFP, were Muslim majority provinces, and Jinnah had demanded that if at any time the territorial redistribution is required, that should be done in such a way that the majority in Punjab, Bengal, and NWFP should not be reduced to a minority. And he had demanded for the separation of Sindh from Bombay, and he had also demanded that political reforms shall be introduced in NWFP and Balochistan on the same footings as they are in other provinces. So previously, among the Hindus, Jinnah's 14 points were highly disregarded and were rejected by Congress party and received as a lukewarm response from the Muslim community. Jawaharlal Nehru referred to them as Jinnah's ridiculous 14 points. After the 14 points were publicized, Jinnah was invited to attend the Roundtable Conference where he forwarded the Muslim point of view. On the mid of 31st December, Congress went on River Ravi and Jawaharlal Nehru raised a flag and said, "Long live revolution." Thank you for joining. Take care. Goodbye.